Hi, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Yesterday, the new mini catalog launched August 4th, 2020, and it's an August through December. It actually goes to January 4th mini catalog. They don't call it the holiday catalog anymore. It's full of holiday stuff, but I think there's more. It's a bigger catalog than normal. So it's really has some wonderful, wonderful products, and I wanted to show you the triangle stamp set, which coordinates with the stitched triangles in the annual catalog. And I have to say, this is one of those set of dies that you just have to have because you'll use it over and over again. I mean, it's great for this card with the Christmas trees and it coordinates, but you can use triangles and make all kinds of patterns. But I just wanted to show you, now I'm allowed to show you the inside of the book. But this on page 22 is the set, the stamp set, and it says that it coordinates with the stitched triangles. When you see this, anything that's kind of grayed out or it means that it has a coordinating die that goes with it. So throughout the catalog, if you see that type of thing, you can look at the bottom and it tells you what it coordinates with. And there's lots of dies here, so you do have to kind of figure out once you stamp it which die goes with it. But I thought this was a fun card. It's easy to make. I could see making a lot of these. I know you have to run them all through your die cut machine, but it wasn't that hard. They're not intricate. They pop right out. And on the inside I have happy wishes to you and yours, which I think is kind of a fun sentiment, and just another tree on the inside. So let's get started. I'm using cherry cobbler and shaded spruce for my colors on this, and I also use the stitched rectangles to get this large white. If you don't have this, you don't have to have a stitched version of it. You could just cut a piece of whisper white paper or cardstock and do it that way. But this is another one. I use this all the time. So sometimes it's just nice to have these shapes for dies. And this is a horizontal card, but I have it open this way. You know, you can open top folding, or you could open the horizontal where it goes up, but I just find that sometimes they don't stand up that great. So like this one, you know, sometimes it will fall down like that when they're the horizontal. So that's just something I like to do. I don't do it all the time, but I figured for this card I would. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp my Christmas trees. So I have everything mounted, and as I said, I'm doing cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. So I will be stamping them, and then I'll cut them off camera on my my cutting machine. They're coming out with the new stamp, emboss, and cutting machine. I don't even know if that's the right name, but I get to order it as a demonstrator starting today. I've actually ordered mine, so I'm gonna have a hard time spitting that out, I think, every time I say it. So whatever die cutting machine you have. If you want to get early on the new one from Stampin' Up, you can join my team and you can go ahead and do a pre-order. So just keep that in mind. So let's I'm going to start with this one, and I'll do that in the cherry cobbler. And this actually has two pieces to it. And I didn't realize it at first. I thought it was just the poinsettias. And then I realized, well, there's leaves that go with it. And I played around with it on scrap to make sure I had it going the right way. And there's a kind of a leaf up top that needs to go on top. And you can just look through it. It's nice that it's the photopolymer, so you can get everything lined up. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So I think that's great. So let's keep going. We'll do two of these, and I want to make sure I have room between them. And you could even go this way if you wanted to save on paper, but I'm just going to go clear across in the shaded spruce. And then we have the whoops, we don't want to do that. We want to do the cherry cobbler, And I love the way these stamp. I mean, the designs are just so pretty. It's very clean and sharp. Okay, so we can cut all of these out, and then I'll come back and stamp some other things. So what I'll do is I'll just close these up for a sec, and then I'll go to my my triangles here and just try to fit, and they fit pretty tight. So that's that one, and then I think it might be this one. So I'll do that one twice, 1, 2, and then we have the smaller red ones, and we'll do this. So these are the pieces, so I'll be right back after I cut them with my die cutting machine. How's that? All right. Okay, I'm back. So I have all my pieces cut, and they cut very easily, and I think they came out great. And we just have to really put the card together. I want to put my sentiment on and do the trunks. So let's put these back. And put these aside. Okay, so on my card I have this joy and cheer all the way up at the top, and I'm going to do that first, and then I'll kind of arrange my trees. I do, and you can do this with any photopolymer stamp, but with the sentiment I want to make sure I have this piercing mat underneath it. So when you use a red rubber stamp, there's rubber, there's like a foam in it, and it gives you a little bit of where you can push down on it, a little flexibility, where the photopolymer are very hard and stiff, and sometimes it's nice, especially with a sentiment, to be able to have that softness behind it. So hope that makes sense. We're going to use the what is it called, cherry cobbler for this again. We'll just put this right at the top right hand corner, and just press it down. And I'll put this aside, and let's do the inside as well. So the inside I have, and I'm going to move this up. The tree is pretty big, so I really would have liked to have had that higher. Sometimes it's better to put the bigger piece down before you do your sentiment, but I'll just go up a little bit. So it'd be good to do it the right way. And so I'm going to come all the way up here. There you go. So let's put that away, and let's stamp the Christmas tree on the inside. And you could do whatever tree you want. I just thought it'd be nice to do something a little bit different than what I had on the outside. And there is a right, you know, you don't want to have it go this way. It took me a minute to see that, but there is kind of like bumps on the side that help you determine what the top point is. Okay, and then we'll just do our little trunk, and I'm doing that in soft suede, and we're going to put trunks on the front as well. And this trunk could go, I don't know if there's a right side up or not, but I had it with this little kind of knot at the bottom. So let's put this aside as well, and we'll leave this out. So now I want to arrange my trees, and you can have them in any order you want, but I liked having the big green and the red, and you could have them go up and down. I'm just going to copy what I did before and just arrange them all, get them where you want them. And this one I had popped out, or popped up, I should say. So I kind of arranged it, and then I just moved everything up so that I could get my tree trunks. This is not very scientific. You could use a ruler and make sure everything is nice and even, but I just pushed it up, and then I'll push them down. So I just went down the row, and they're probably not 100% even on the bottom, but I'm okay with that. Am I making you nervous because I have all this ink around my ink pad? Because I'm making me nervous. It's all around the side. Okay, and now I can kind of line up the trees to the trunks. I just wanted to get an idea. So the first one I'm going to do is put down the green one, and I'm using my liquid glue for this because the red one goes a little bit above it. So this will let me get it right in place. So I'm going to go right, center it with the trunk, and I think I'll go down a little bit because I don't want to cover too much of the end. And you can cover up the trunk as much or as little as you want, so that's not a problem either. There's plenty of room for moving things around on this card, which is nice. I love this red one. And if it goes off the side, we're okay as well, because we have the card base that we're going to put this whole thing on. So not to worry. And we'll just put a little bit of glue on this one and keep going. Aren't they pretty? I really do love them. Kind of bright and cheery. And it's a very easy card to make. I mean, I could see using some form of this for my Christmas cards that I make in bulk. Or maybe make some with this and some with some other, you know, half and half or whatever. I like to do a kind of a Christian-based card for most of the people, but then there's some that you want to just send like this. So this one I will put up with my dimensionals. So let's turn that over. And I really only used, I think, 3 dimensionals on this, kind of one in each corner. And if you wanted to put stars, there is a star here. You'd have to cut it out. You could put it behind, or if you have a star punch, which I don't have, I probably have a star die, you can do that. And there's also these great embellishments in the catalog that are yellow stars. Let me get them in a second. I didn't really want to add that on this one because I like the poinsettias, but you could if you wanted. There we go. So let me just show you that and you'll see what I'm talking about. So they're all in the trimming, so you could put this yellow star right up here if you wanted. You know, I'll probably do it on other Christmas trees. I just didn't want to do it here. But what I did add was some of these champagne rhinestones. You could do regular clear rhinestones as well. I added these to the center of the poinsettias, or as some people call them, poinsettias, I think. That's not how I grew up with them. But that's how it looks like it's spelled. It's funny how everybody in different parts of the country and the world say things just a little bit differently. Oops. So I'm just putting this in the center of each one, just to add a little bit of bling. But I think when I looked at the tree set, I looked at this and I thought, oh, that's really cool with the poinsettias. So that's what was the start of this card. And then I kind of built it from there. That's not really in the center. There we go. Okay, so we're done with all of this. We can just put our card together now. Get our sentiment, or our inside, our outside, and where's my liquid glue? I'm going to just put this down with some liquid glue. Nice and easy. I have it on hand. And you really don't need too much. And just center it in here. And I love the stars on this Christmas tree. Just open this up. And there we go. Let's get it all nice and centered. Pretty, right? I love them. I think I'll be using this set a lot. I just love the way they're stamping. It just really, the crispness of them is really nice. So anyway, thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go to pspapercrafts.com and you can see all the typed up dimensions and instructions and all of that good stuff, the products I used, and then you can shop for products there. But thanks for joining. Have a good day. Bye.